Pittsburgh Steelers defensive end Isaiahh Loudermilk may be switching positions, as he says he loves playing outside linebacker and the Steelers have been using him there more often. Also, the Steelers have recently signed a new person on their team, so later in the video, I'm going to introduce you to him. So, we all know the Steelers back in 2021, a few drafts ago, they really liked Isaiahh Loudermilk's game because he was coming out of Wisconsin and they actually traded up to select him. And he was a prototypical 2-gapping 3-4 defensive end with a body type and skill set that has become increasingly rare in the football landscape, but the Steelers select him anyway because they saw use for him and they saw maybe he could play behind Cameron Hayward and some of their other defensive ends, and they seen that his game was run defense, and that's what they were missing. They're missing someone to play some run defense, but he just hasn't worked out. Yes, he's still only in his fourth season, so he still has so much more room to grow, but he's on the edge of the roster now, and so many guys the Steelers have at defensive end. He's behind Larry Ogunjobi, he's behind Cameron Hayward, he's behind DeMarvin Leal, he's also behind Keanu Benton, who they just drafted in the second round. So those guys are all roster locks. So now Isaiahh Loudermilk, he's on the edge of the roster and he may not make the team. So the Steelers have been using him in different areas to see if he could be versatile, and they've actually been using him off the edge. You might think that that's not a good idea because he weighs a lot and usually someone that hefty doesn't come off the edge, but they have been trying him out. As we've seen last season and in training camp multiple times, they've also been working out DeMarvin Leal off the edge as well, meaning that they're not afraid to use someone who's a bigger player off the edge if it's going to help their game. And sometimes when things just aren't going your way, especially as a football player, maybe you need to switch positions or do something different. And the Steelers have been trying that more often with other players. For example, Kendrick Green, all he needed was a switch to the fullback position to get him more engaged in the game and to actually have production. And you've seen that through a training camp. He was struggling all season, his first year, and in training camp for the center reps and the guard reps that he was getting, but maybe all it took was him moving to fullback for him to be more engaged in the game and actually find a home in the league. And maybe that's what it's going to take for Isaiahh Loudermilk. Yes, he could always be a backup and be a reserve defensive end, but maybe if he wants to have some actual playing time and get better and be more engaged in the game, maybe it's all it takes is him moving off the edge, because that's what the Steelers are trying out right now. And just recently, Isaiahh Loudermilk has spoke to the media saying that he loves getting those reps at the outside linebacker position, so that position switch may be real. Here's his quote: "I love it. It's a lot different because I don't have to worry about getting double teamed. When I am out there, things like that, I can really just line up and go. I don't have to worry about a tackle coming down or a center coming to me. It's really, I can just kind of go off the edge, which does make it fun. It's a little unnatural for me at times, but I like doing it. I am taller, lengthy guy, so I feel like I kind of have some rushes on the edge that I can execute just because of my height." And then later on in the interview, he mentioned the Pittsburgh Steelers might use him in that position more often. Here's his quote: "I think they're getting me out there to get those reps, get those pass rushes, because who knows? It's good for me to get that feel back out there." And actually, on the Pittsburgh Steelers website, they have him listed at 6'7", weighing in at 293 pounds. And usually you don't see players that are that size coming off the edge, that are that tall and weigh that much off the edge. Usually people are shorter and a little bit smaller coming off the edge. But exactly like he said, if he feels more comfortable playing that position, might as well give it a go. Because someone who weighs 293 pounds, usually they're not fit for an inside defensive lineman either, because they weigh too little. And usually the offensive linemen weigh around 315 pounds. So if he's has 20 less pounds than the offensive lineman and he's playing inside on the defensive line, it may be tough for him. So maybe him being in between, moving to outside linebacker may be a better fit for him. And like he said, he doesn't have to worry about getting double teamed, having the center come down, and having multiple people guard him. He's usually one-on-one on the outside, Even though on the outside, sometimes the tight end do crack blocks, or the running back goes out, or the wide receiver chips, they could do stuff like that, but it's less often than having two people guard you on the inside defense line and having bigger people guard you. Now he has opportunity because he is a little bit fast. He's not totally explosive, but now he has a chance to get the edge. It's really hard to get the edge when you're on the inside unless you run all the way around. So by being an outside linebacker, now he has multiple moves he does. He says he has moves in his bag already because he's taller, because of his size, that he could do the outside and that he's just waiting to do. So if he's actually motivated to play that position and he thinks it's going to help him, maybe it's a good thing that he's starting to get those reps there and maybe moving that to position. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below before I switch topics how you feel about Isaiahh Loudermilk getting more playing time and more training camp reps off the edge, and him saying that he likes playing that position and that he actually loves it and that he has more moves he could go to because of his size. Do you believe the Steelers should try him at that position, or do you believe that he's too tall and too big and the Steelers should just stick with him on the inside defense line? Let me know your thoughts on this topic down in the comments below. And now, let's move over to our second topic of the video. Just a few days ago, the Pittsburgh Steelers signed a safety. So, a few days after adding Trenton Thompson, a safety, the Steelers signed another one in Jalen Elliott Tuesday morning and waived injured wide receiver Jamarcus Bradley as a corresponding move. So, let me just introduce you to Jalen Elliott. This is not a huge move by any means, but still, I'll introduce you to who he is. So, Elliott originally signed with the Detroit Lions as an undrafted rookie free agent following the 2020 NFL Draft. He's out of Notre Dame, and he spent his rookie season on the Lions practice squad and was elevated to the active roster for only 2 games and then later signed to the 53-man roster. He played in a total of 8 games with the Lions, and he actually started 1. And he also signed with the New England Patriots during the training camp of 2022. He played in some preseason games for them, but then he was released, and then prior to the start of the regular season, he spent time with the Raiders, and then Elliott played 51 games for the Flaming Irish, recording 173 tackles, 96 of them solo stops, 6 interceptions, and forced fumbles. And then the Steelers now have added him to the roster. So, just to give you some more information, he stands at 6 feet tall, 205 pounds. And just to tell you his time in his college career, he finished with 134 tackles and 6 interceptions at Notre Dame. So, he has had some production at the XFL, at the college level, and now let's see what he could bring to the Pittsburgh Steelers this season. The Steelers have dealt with a lot of injuries at the safety position. That's why you see them bringing in Trenton Thompson. You see them bringing in Elliott, because they have dealt with a lot of injuries with Keanu Neal and DeMonte Casey being out for multiple weeks at the Steelers practice. So they bring in these safeties to help the team to see if maybe they could fit. But these guys that I'm naming, there's really rare that they're going to make the team. Yes, they have opportunity and they could play really well in the preseason, but those other guys I named, they're basically locks to make the team. And these two people, Trenton Thompson, Elliott, they're more going to be fighting for the practice squad. So let's see what they could bring to the table. Let's see if they're actually able to produce with the Steelers and make one of those 53-man roster spots, or at least make a practice spot on the team. But with that being said, that's the end of this video, and now let me know your thoughts on this topic as well. This topic being Elliott being signed by the Steelers. What do you think he could bring to the Steelers team? Do you think he's going to make the practice squad? What do you think about him? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content, analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for his channel as well, so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. Click that bell down below so you never miss out. Like I've said in recent videos, I cover everything Pittsburgh Steelers football, meaning that if you want to stay in one place to hear Pittsburgh Steelers news and want to listen to it and not read it, this is a spot for it, because I cover everything: news, rumors, reports, highlights, everything. And also, the season's just around the corner, the preseason's about to start, so this is the best spot to now subscribe with notifications on so you never miss out on anything. So, like, comment, subscribe. turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.